Yeah, please come back. Okay, shall I continue? Naveen, good morning. Yeah, shall I continue? Yes, Ravi. Ravi, call me after my class, okay? Okay. I'll continue. Uh, yes, Bharti. Yeah. When the Great Depression hit with full force, people were getting worried that banks were not redeeming their gold. So they kept on going to the banks and so what happened is there was so much of demand of gold on the banks that President Roosevelt shut down the banks. I told you, no, during the this thing depression. Rakshita, good morning. Ravi, okay. Akarsh, good morning. Naresh, okay. So there was so much of demand rush on the banks that the president closed off the banks. So people could not or did not have courage to exchange to take dollars. They said first they were saying I'll keep dollars because I can exchange the dollars anytime for gold. But when the banks closed and the banks closed because there was so much demand on the banks to redeem the gold. So the president himself closed the banks. Now what happened is people started hoarding gold, so that is why the Federal Reserve idea started. Like the Federal Reserve was somewhere I told you, Fort Knox, etc., etc. So with this background, I will go ahead and I will talk to you about yeah, I will talk to you about more about the gold standard. Just hold on. So dollar became a very big standard. The dollar became the very big standard for people to deal with, and they used to deal or make all their international transactions with the gold. All right. Now, because I told you the First World War, what happened? People started, countries started minting their currency as per their need. They did not peg it to the gold. So that was one big issue. The Great Depression, the stock market crashed in 1929. That time, investors began trading in currencies and commodities. They began trading in currencies. All right. Then the Federal Reserve of America kept raising interest rates in order so that they wanted to make the dollar more valuable. So they did not want people to go and say instead of dollar you give me in gold. They did not want that. So what happened is many banks closed, companies went bankrupt, and there was a lot of unemployment. But we are not here to talk about the unemployment. We have to talk about how gold standards went on. So in 1944, there was a Bretton Woods Agreement. This set the exchange rate for all currencies in terms of gold. So this Bretton Woods Agreement was made in a play by many countries in a place called Bretton Woods. That is why it is called in 1944. That is why it's called 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement. Now you also remember this because when I talk about World Bank, the World Bank took birth here. I'll talk to you about IMF and World Bank in another class. But remember that the 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement gave way for the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Now, the United States held the majority of the world's gold. As a result, what most countries did, they simply pegged the value of their currency to the dollar instead of gold. So instead of saying I have so much gold, they say, okay, my currency is equal to so much dollar. One yen is equal to so much dollar, or 10 yens is equal to so much dollar. 10 rupees is equal to so much dollar, like that. Instead of gold, they started pegging their value of their currency to the dollar. So central banks maintained fixed exchange rates between their countries and the dollar by buying their own country's currency in foreign exchange market. So whenever their currency became low, they bought currency in exchange relative, how much they bought relative to the dollar. Okay. So if their currency became high, they could print more currency. That's the way. So they pegged many countries. Remember this words, peg their currency to the dollar. All right. So this helped in one way. No need to peg your currency to gold and exchange gold, etc. The dollar had replaced it. Currency. But in 1960, what happened? The United States held $19.4 billion in gold reserves, including $1.6 billion in the International Monetary Fund. That was enough to cover the $18.7 billion in foreign dollars outstanding. So the outstanding means other countries had so much dollars, so many dollars with them, but United States had an equal amount of reserves. So they could, if you went to United States, took $10,000 and say, give me, here's $10,000, give me the value of $10,000 in gold, they could give because they had that position. But what happened when the US economy prospered? Americans bought more imported goods, so they started buying imported goods. When they bought imported goods, they had to pay in dollars. So what happened is, when they started paying in dollars, the American, as I told you, you have to encourage exports, exports, and discourage imports. Okay. So when they started paying in dollars and it started accumulating US dollars, and it exchanged it in the same, because there was a Cold War going on between the United States and USSR. They started accumulating US dollars, and they paid it to European countries. A new concept called Euro dollars came into the picture. Okay. Now, in the 1970s, President Richard Nixon was there. He had some new economic policies which created something called stagflation. Okay. Double digit inflation. Double digit means more than 10%. 9 is a single digit, 10 becomes a double digit. So when the inflation became more than 10%, we call it double digit inflation. So more and more banks started redeeming their holdings for gold. So when this happened, United States found it difficult to redeem gold instead of the dollar. As other countries predicted, it became so that the gold reserves were suddenly not enough. So suddenly, President Nixon changed. See, he would say, instead of, see, $1 is 100 cents, so he brought that to 38 cents. From 100, the dollar cents remained, but the value came to 38 cents. Then the value came to 42 cents. So with this, what happened is, there was no, and then in 1973, he decoupled the value of gold from the dollar. So when he decoupled the value of gold from the dollar, the price of gold was, there was no control, and it shot up to 124.84. All right. So the gold standard was dropped because countries began, because the gold standard was dropped, countries began printing more of their own currency. So there was more than economic growth, there was inflation. I explained to you what is inflation in my other statistics class and all that. So a lot of inflation happened. Then the gold standard was never to come back. All right. So with this, 1 minute, I will tell you how the uh, gold standard worked. Or I think I have given you I've given you a little introduction on the gold standard. I think this is about enough. If you want more in another time, I can talk. All right. So we will come back. I want to do something on. I want to do something on. Yeah. I want to do something on foreign direct investment. I think this is about enough. When many of you, when you're going to, oh, sha, I don't know, man, why it is happening. I will go ahead and do foreign direct investment. I think because of the lockdown, no, these guys are not coming for maintenance. I think internet, no. I have a very strong LAN. Today is the 31st, no. Probably the bandwidth is low today. Can you see me now? Shall I continue? I'm going to talk about FDI. It's very sad, no, if these things happen. Once again, I'll get my. Open your slide on FDI, foreign direct investment. Yeah. Class, I'll do one thing. If my class is getting interrupted, I will just tell you, you follow my slides and all the answers and all are there. You have to be prepared for a question on what is FDI and why it is important for a country like India and what are the advantages of FDI. The advantages of FDI are very clearly given in my slide, and the situation is also like what is the